Hello. I hope that's kind of in the way, isn't it? I'll deal with it. Bring it down a little. No, it's going the wrong way. There we go. Oh, that's better. Hello, greetings, Gherkins, Gherkettes, and Gherkaholics. It is autumn here in Philadelphia. That just happened overnight. One day it was like 110 degrees and we were all miserable, and then the next day we woke up and it was like 65 and we were all happy. And as you can tell, I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm wearing a Plague Doctor sweatshirt. Don't know if you can see that. That just makes me happy that I can put on a sweatshirt and not be dying in the heat. The war between the summer and the autumn people is still going on, though. The summer people just refuse to accept that autumn is here, and they run around in shorts, cut-off T-shirts, flip-flops, going, no, it'll get warm again. It will. No, you've lost. You've lost the battle. It's our time now. There's a comedian, Josh Johnson, who does a great little bit about how much white people love autumn, and it is dead on. And he's saying white people will go from their autumn to look at another autumn. And yes, that is quite true. So yeah, we had Pagan Pride. It was like last weekend, I think it was. And I was there, and a friend of mine was sitting in this like circle because there was like a seminar going on, and she was waving at me, and I waved back, and as I waved back, somebody had left an apple, half-eaten apple on the ground in Clark Park, and my foot hit it, and I totally like went up and fell back and ate shit in front of a whole bunch of other people. And then all these witches were running over to make sure I was okay, and I was like, no, witches, don't try to steal my semen, because that's the thing that they'll do. David Bowie worried a lot about that. He worried, oddly enough, you can look this up, he thought Lenny Kravitz's mother, long before she was Lenny Kravitz's mother, he thought she was trying to steal his semen. So there you go. Yeah, that was a big problem for Bowie. He would call 911 at like 4 a.m. or whatever. So I had to, the day after I injured myself, I had an acting gig, and I showed up for the acting gig, and going along, getting near the end, they cut one of the characters. And they said, well, we like you, you're doing pretty good here. Can you like take some of this character's parts and you do those? And I didn't realize there was a fight scene involved, and I was all bruised up from falling, and I did a fight scene. So I was feeling pain and misery the next day. That's the way these weeks have been. I had a radio show on Friday night and practice with the Milkmen, and I've got a Heinrich show this weekend, and it's off to Chicago that weekend. So eventually I'm hoping to get some rest. You might not see me for a while. Just know that I'm somewhere resting. So I should probably talk about the FrankenCartridge EP, which is supposed to be released on Friday the 13th. Couldn't pick a better day for that. And the weather is cooperating with the whole spooky season feel. I still have no idea how I'm going to market this thing. I know not to make videos. I made a little album video, but I think less than 100 people even bothered looking at that. Damian Keyes, the father of gloom and doom in the music industry, I love him for that. He was talking about making videos, and he said, yeah, while you're making a video, why not just also make a time machine so you can travel back to 1994 and show it on MTV? And I thought, yeah, that pretty much, that rings true. So, the thing is now I'm just trying to figure out like how to treat this. I think really you have to just set the bar for what you think is going to be your idea of successful. Like for this, I think my idea of successful is it's a spooky season EP. Some people might enjoy it, having something to help them enjoy spooky season. It's like with Terry Gilliam, who did Baron von Munchausen. The studio was very angry at him because they'd spent a lot of money on it. And Terry Gilliam was like, well, my daughters like it. It's successful. I just want to make a film that my daughters like. So that's what I'm going to try to keep my head on the Terry Gilliam experience. Just to answer a big question that did come up when I think the end of the last one of these type of videos where I sit and talk to everybody. A lot of people ask me why this EP is a one and done. This is because I have songwriting duties in the Dead Milkmen, and I don't want to shirk those to work on solo stuff. A friend of mine did an album a couple years ago with his band, and everybody was contributing except for one band member, and the guy's just like, well, I just don't have anything. I don't have anything. And then the guy ended up putting out, while that album was being put together, that guy wound up putting out 2 solo albums. And I think one of the solo albums was actually produced by the guy producing the band's records. So there were a lot of rough feelings on that one. I just there was somebody telling him he was the best part of the band, and you don't don't want anybody like that in my life. I don't have anybody like that. None of my friends say I'm the best part of anything, and that's what I like about them. They're like, you're untalented and you're lucky to be doing anything, and I'm like, yes, I agree. So yeah, I want to get back to doing that, and that should be the big thing. Okay, so now going to sneak a little bit of tips in here. I wanted to talk to you about microphones. This is my SM58 that, as you all know, travels with me everywhere, and it's in this little pouch here. We're going to take it out. I didn't rehearse any of this, so this might not go as smoothly as you think. But let me take out the SM58 from its protective casing, its protective shell. There we go. We've all seen it. A little like Priestley thing. Oh, pity me, Betty, bellos, bellos, celis, discos, or les dominos. But the great thing about the box that the SM58 comes in. Now, one thing I want to explain here. I take this with me ever since COVID. I take this with me to all my live shows because I don't want to catch anything. I would tour and I would get horrible flus and all sorts of stomach ailments because I'd be using mics from other people. I should have learned a lesson. Years ago in Austin, Texas, there was a guy who went on to be kind of a semi-famous musician, kind of like a singer, guitar writer. He was a relative of some other famous people. But there was a club in Texas, and there was one guy who was quite the opposite of this guy. In other words, this guy was like, the guy who was a singer, songwriter. He had a lot of label interest in him, and so he was sort of a squeaky clean kind of person, I guess. I don't know, off stage, I don't know, or on stage, I guess, would be where he was squeaky clean. But the other guy was just a sort of outrageous G.G. Allen-esque act. And so at one point, they had every mic they had there was dented up by teeth. They were all like, kind of looked like the surface of an asteroid. And this guy, Mr. Squeaky Clean, asked if they had any microphones that weren't all dented up. And then they said, yes, we can give you one or two of those, but we can't guarantee that this other guy hasn't stuck them up his ass. That was part of his act. I actually saw him do it one night. He would stick the microphones up his ass. So that is why I travel with my own. And it's a good thing. You should definitely do that. And I just want to say here's a little helpful tip. If you have the microphone, the SM58 comes in a nice box. And what you can do, if you look inside this box, I'm hoping you can see it, you're going to see a bunch of toothbrushes, and you're also going to see a pair of needle nose pliers. So let's explain the needle nose pliers first. All right. After you play and you get home, you come home and you unscrew the ball on the, I feel like I'm a moil here. Today you are a man. You unscrew the ball on the SM58. You reach in here now with your pliers, your needle nose pliers, and you just grab this little piece of foam. Easier said than done, I guess. I have a lot of lighting in here today. Ah, here we go. Got it. Oh, there we go. Got it. You grab this bit of foam. This comes out. I think this is a contraceptive somewhere. You take this and you wash this out. And then you leave it out to dry. And then you take this, the ball, and then you take one of the toothbrushes, just put some water on it. Doesn't really need to be a lot of, you don't want to put anything other than water on it. And just scrub around here. And it makes it's ready for the next use. And so if you did pick up anything and you've got another show coming up, you're probably not going to get it. Sometimes I'll take some Listerine, put it on there. So that brings us to another topic, which is your teeth. Patti Smith, the best advice I ever saw a musician give a room full of people was Patti Smith. And these people, they were looking for like musical advice. And they asked Patti Smith, do you have any advice for young people? And Patti Smith said, yeah, take care of your teeth. Because it becomes very expensive later on. And I'm a person who learned this the hard way. My teeth are not fantastic right now, but they're pretty darn good, and they're a lot better than they were. And I spent a lot of money getting things fixed. Right now, I'm probably setting off a metal detector over in Camden because there's a lot of stuff here. And everybody's looking at my teeth now. Yeah, that's an important thing is to take care of them. Now, I'm from a working class family. A lot of working class people do not have the best teeth. It's just a thing that happens. During health care handing out or whatever you want to call it, somebody decided that your eyes and your teeth should be separate from the rest of your body. So a lot of working class people, again, not the best set of choppers, which is why you should never make fun of somebody with a bad set of teeth. I am both a little bit spittle there, I think. No, just the way it looks, not spit. Bummer. I'm both a victim and a conveyor of snobbery. Conveyor, I don't know if is the right term, but anyway, I in the past have made fun of people who have bad teeth, even though I had terrible teeth for years. It's not something you should do, and it's a horrible, horrible thing. And I stopped it years ago. I had a friend of mine he says what he wants to say, and he does it in a beautiful way, and he does not tolerate bullies. And we were somewhere, and somebody was talking about a musician with bad teeth. And he said, oh, yeah, so-and-so, he's got terrible teeth. And my friend said, oh, I had no idea. And the guy goes, oh, yeah, you should see him. He goes, no, I had no idea that your shit doesn't stink. And he's like, I know some horrible things you've done. You have no right just talking about this guy's teeth. And then I think it was like 6 months after that, a friend of mine's band was playing, and there was like this weird variety bill is how I would describe it. My friend's band is very punk with some electronics in it, and there was a band kind of like that Mr. Clean band where you had the singer-songwriter guy, but with like 5 other people. And I think I don't want to say which person in the band was using which mic, but one of the people, not the lead singer, was using a mic. And the guy comes up and starts complaining afterwards. Oh man, you should do something about your teeth. Have a Tic Tac or chew some Tic Tac or chew some gum or something before you go on. And just being like a dick. I mean, just really hurting the guy's feelings. And before I could say anything, one of my friends who's in the band said, you know what? I would rather have his breath than your lyrics. And right then I jumped in. I'm like, yeah, dude, your lyrics suck. Your lyrics sound like you're writing songs for your grandmother. Like your grandmother doesn't need any songs. Your songs are just horrible, dude. Like seriously, I'd rather have that guy's teeth and breath. I'd rather have one tooth and breath that comes out green than write your shitty lyrics. And I just piled on him because again, I've seen this done to people. I'd had it done to myself. It's just not cool. And so that was, and then the weird thing is, like a month later, one of the guys in the band contacts me and goes, you know how you said that guy sounds like he's writing songs for his grandmother? And they found this interview with him, and he was saying like, some bands consider themselves punk rock and stuff, but I just like to say, I'm proud to have songs I can play for my grandmother. Now, if I ever write like a list of punk rock rules, like rule 175 or whatever it's going to be, don't write songs for your grandmother. She doesn't need the songs, for one. People have been writing songs for her for decades. She has a backlog of music to get to. Also, she's not going to like it. Even if it's the most, my grandmother is the best, she's not interested. You start to play it for her, and she'll be like, can't you put on Rush Limbaugh? I'm like, Grandma, Rush Limbaugh's dead. I'm like, I didn't know he was sick. So, yeah, just enough of the snobbery, people. Don't make fun of anybody for any physical characteristic whatsoever. Now, if they're an asshole, if personality traits, you can just rail on them. Just totally roast the hell out of them. All right, so album is out on September 13th, which is what I guess I was supposed to be leaning into. And this is probably the last FrankenCartridge, although I may be back with just letting you know if I've learned anything, like a lessons learned episode. All right, thank you all very much, and have a good whatever it is you people are up to.